Hello there guys and welcome back to 100% Chelsea for my review of the Chelsea versus Southampton game, and we won the game 1-0. Maybe not as comfortable as I and probably many of you out there thought and maybe hoped for as well. But a win is a win, 3 points is all that matters. But getting straight into the review and starting off with the lineup, and I was right. I just knew we'd start with Pedro, Hazard and Willian up front. The only thing that I did get wrong from my predicted lineup yesterday was Bakayoko started instead of Cesc Fabregas next to N'Golo Kante. So the lineup then was a 3-4-3, Thibaut Courtois in goal, Cesar Spilicueta, Andreas Christensen and Gary Cahill as the 3 centre-backs, Victor Moses and Marcos Alonso as the 2 wing-backs, with N'Golo Kante and Timu Bakayoko as the 2 central midfielders, and like I said, Pedro, Willian and Hazard up front. Southampton actually did go with a 3/5 at the back compared to their standard 4-2-3-1 like they did against Manchester City as well. And getting into the game, generally, a fairly even start. Chelsea seeing a bit more of the ball, but it was fairly even. But Southampton did actually almost get an early goal after a low cross into the danger area was put in, but Courtois and Cahill in a combined effort just about got the ball away before any Southampton player could get to it. Then in the 15th minute, we had our first chance of the game when Alonso and Willian combined well on the left-hand side. And Willian charged into the box, but then the Brazilian put his effort from inside the box, like I said, wide off the far post. Should have probably done a little bit better with the finish or even laid it off. Not saying he should have scored, but shouldn't have put it as far wide as he did. Other than that though, nothing dangerous from either team in the first 23 minutes. In the 25th minute though, Kante had a very good go from just outside the box after Hazard laid it back to him. The tuck took a slight deflection, but still forced a very good stop by Southampton keeper Forster. In the 31st minute then, a massive chance for us. Pedro won the ball back in midfield, played it out to Hazard on the left wing, who cut in, tried to lay it off to Pedro, who was steaming onto the box in the middle, but Hazard overhit the pass slightly and the ball actually found Willian. But just as Willian started to swing his foot to actually shoot, Ryan Bertrand got a crucial touch to the ball to get it away from Willian. Maybe Willian could have finished a little bit quicker, but it was also and mainly very good defending from Bertrand. Just 2 minutes later, in the 33rd minute, another decent chance, this time through Alonso. After a very good play by Willian, down by the touchline, Alonso did go for a near post finish, but the keeper made a good save. And that was the period when we started putting Southampton under a lot more pressure, around the 30-minute area, obviously. But we didn't manage to create any real major chances. None of them chances that you think, what, how did we not score that? No sitters, really. But Southampton was still defending well, even though we were putting them under a lot more pressure. In the 43rd minute, then Pedro hit the post. Pedro came storming into the box from the left-hand side, actually tried to hit it towards the far post, but another deflection directed the ball onto the near post. Very, very close. And then in the 48th minute, in 3rd minute of extra time, we scored the 1-0 through Marcos Alonso. Hazard was brought down a good 30 yards away from goal. Alonso took the free kick and low curled it around the wall, and it went into the bottom left corner just next to the post. Very, very good goal. And as much as Alonso might be a little bit slow to be a top-class wing-back, his goal record is outstanding, and so was that free kick. Very, very good free kick. Even though the commentators, where I watched it, said, the keeper could have done better. Maybe he could have done, but that is not, a free kick, a shot that I'd expect any keeper to save. As the goal was scored in the 3rd minute of injury time, that was then obviously half-time at 1-0. Not the best half, even though we did start to create more in the last 50 minutes of the first half, but Southampton were defending well. But thankfully, Marcos Alonso managed to break the lock with the beauty of a free kick just before half-time. And before talking about the second half, I want to talk about something quickly, because Southampton, and especially their keeper Forster, did a lot of time wasting in the first half already, and to be honest, I never really understand that. Like, yes, you're playing at the home of the champions, but don't start time wasting in the first half already when it's 0-0. I mean, it didn't help that much, because obviously we scored before half time, but it's still annoying. Like, don't do that. Obviously, everyone understands it if you want to see out a result towards the end, and, you need to get the result, whether that's a draw or a win. But don't do it in the first half. I mean, come on. Getting into the second half, though, we did start strong, very much in the front foot, but not creating any real chances in the first 10 minutes of the second half anyway. All over them. They just kept clearing the ball when we started to build our play again, and it was just frustrating because they were sitting very deep and defending very well. The first big chance of the second half actually did fall to Southampton. Around the 60th minute, when Charlie Austin, who came on just seconds earlier, was played through on goal after not the greatest piece of defending by Christensen, I have to admit. Austin forced Courtois to make a very good save, important stop, but nonetheless not the most difficult saves out there. In the 67th minute then, a good chance for Eden Hazard when he had a shot from the right hand side inside the box, but Southampton defender Yoshida put in a great block to keep the shot from going on target. Then we started making substitutions. In the 68th minute, Fabregas Fabregas came on for Pedro. And we actually scored just seconds after that through Hazard, and Fabregas would have given the assist, but Fabregas was rightly ruled offside, just by a fraction though. In the 71st minute, Alonso almost made it 2 with a very good strike on his weaker right foot from outside the box, but the keeper made another very good save to keep it out. Then in the 73rd minute, Morata came on for Eden Hazard, and in the 78th minute, we came very, very close again. William played a free kick quickly to Fabregas, who went past the defender by the touchline after actually was pushed and somehow managed to stay up. And somehow Fabregas managed to squeeze the ball past the keeper. And the ball literally was rolling along the goal line, but no one got there to capitalise on it and just literally touch it in. Like, you could have blown it in. You wouldn't even have to touch that ball because it was literally rolling along the goal line. And after 81 minutes played, Zappacosta came on for Victor Moses. Southampton had a few almost moments, a few corners and shots ever since Austin came on, but when they did hit the target, Courtois was able to stop them quite comfortably, to be honest. Just before the end of the game, in the 93rd minute, we had a good chance to kill the game off when Morata had the ball inside the box. The path for his shot was completely blocked by two Southampton players, so he chipped the ball to Fabregas, who had a volleyed effort on his weaker left foot, got it on target, but it was a fairly easy save for the Southampton keeper. And usually I don't speak about bookings, but in this case I have to, as Alonso was booked in injury time for time wasting when we had a corner, and that is actually his 5th yellow card, so he will be suspended. But now he obviously will be suspended for the midweek League Cup quarter-final against Bournemouth, and that certainly didn't seem accidental. I mean, obviously time wasting is never accidental, is it? But Alonso is never usually on corners, is he? It may be not the finest English manners, if you will, but it's smart nonetheless. That's probably Alonso wouldn't have started on Wednesday against Bournemouth either way. But that was then full time, 3 points, 1-0 victory, and it wasn't a bad performance. You know, 1-0 always seems a little bit unsatisfying. And yes, we could have scored more, even though we didn't create as many big chances as maybe we should have done, and maybe I, expected us to do. But Southampton defended really well throughout the whole game. They are, like I said yesterday in my preview, they are very up and down. And like Conte said in his press conference as well, after a big defeat like, when they lost 4-1 to Leicester in midweek. But you have to be careful of these teams because they always want to bounce back, and they had a good performance today. Even though we did have 8 shots on target, 9 shots off target, including hitting the post. But their good defending forced us to shoot from distance or tight angles, or they got deflections on the ball, while also blocking 8 of our efforts as well. So, they did defend well. We didn't have, the most outstanding of games. Otherwise, we would have won by more than 1. But it was still, a decent performance. But just the other team did fairly well as well. And we just scored a good goal to win the game. I don't really have any complaints towards any player today. No 9 out of 10 performances by any player. But I wouldn't say anyone deserved anything less than a 7 or maybe the odd 6 out of 10 in there. But, I'm fairly happy. 3 points, 1-0 victory, clean sheet, it's alright. I'm fairly happy with it. Now on to the League Cup quarter-final midweek against Bournemouth. Let's hope we can get through there as well, even though that just means more games for us. But still, we want to go for the trophy, don't we? So, let's hope we can get a victory in midweek as well. But yeah, that's it from me. Leave me all of your thoughts down in the comment section below. What did you think? Do you think it was an alright performance? Just Southampton defending well? Who was your man of the match? If there is one, probably just Alonso because he scored the winner. And even generally, he did have a decent game actually. Had a few other efforts as well that the keeper saved. So, he did fairly well in my opinion today. But like I said, leave me your thoughts down in the comment section below. Leave a like if you did enjoy the video. And don't forget to check out my social media, which is Laos1507 on both Instagram and Twitter. As you can see over here, like I said, Laos1507. I'd massively appreciate it if you could follow me there. Also, don't forget to subscribe to 100% Chelsea. Just click that button up there. But thank you guys for watching. Up to Chelsea. And I'll see you next time.